Do you sometimes have bizarre dreams, the kind that make no sense? And although you may be surrounded by people who attribute those dreams to what you had for dinner, your gut tells you there may be a more constructive explanation. Today I'm going to help you make some sense of those bizarre dreams, because maybe it's not the pizza. For over 20 years, I've helped thousands of dreamers worldwide make sense of their dreams, and I can do the same for you. A number of years ago, I actually did have a pizza dream, literally. I was being served a plastic pizza with plastic cheese, plastic sausage, plastic pepperoni, plastic mushrooms, and the like. It was a full-size pizza, and it was served in a dark bathroom by an exceedingly drunk Glenn Beck. Seriously, that's a real dream. Oh yes, I remember that dream well. At the time, in the media world, Fox News and television show host Glenn Beck had gone their separate ways, but that was pretty much like any other news of the day. So why would I dream about Glenn Beck? I bring this dream up because it's a typical bizarre dream. Sounds like a pizza dream for sure. Well, there it is. One reason why those crazy dreams may be bringing prophetic insight. Prophetic dreams are generally bizarre. In fact, I'd say the more bizarre, the more obvious that the dream is prophetic. Bizarre dreams present riddles intended to be solved. But because they are riddles, they're typically bizarre in one way or another. Maybe the dream elements are wild, or the scenario is unfeasible. But however they present, they tend to be somewhat bizarre by nature. And that's because prophetic dreams are encoded. As interpreters, it helps to see ourselves as detectives. Picture the law enforcement office in a movie. Detectives staring at images on a wall. After staring long enough, they begin connecting the images with strings, right? And making notes next to them. Then after returning to the collage and modifying it several times, they solve the crime. At least they do in the movies. In making sense of our dreams, it helps to think of ourselves as detectives, or wartime military personnel working to decipher coded messages, because these bizarre dreams need decoding. Once the dream is decoded, the dream element symbolism can come together to produce an insightful message. Dream elements, by the way, are all the things which comprise the dream. The setting, the people, the actions, the creatures, the objects, and so on. Like puzzle pieces, these elements serve as symbols within dreams, which challenge us to put them together in just the right way so as to expose the full picture. Over the last 2 decades, I've learned that dreams, like riddles, when solved and then connected to an aspect of the dreamer's life, make a whole lot of sense and bring extraordinary insight and perspective. In my pizza dream, the symbols basically consisted of 5 things: the bathroom, darkness, an artificial deluxe pizza, extreme drunkenness, and Glenn Beck. When I decoded the dream, the message uncovered was clear. And here it is, very specific for such a short dream. You are being served an array of hogwash. In other words, expect what's being served to you to be counterfeit, phony, or fraudulent. Someone is or will be trying to scam you, and the person beckoning, pardon the pun, you to swallow what they're peddling is extremely drunk with something negative and dark like greed, arrogance, or delusions of grandeur, and at your expense. The scammer will be perfectly willing to sacrifice all relationships connected to this plot permanently. Now, let me back up and unpack this briefly. I think you're probably making sense by now of the pizza symbolism and also probably the drunkenness one. Bathrooms. What about the bathroom? Well, bathrooms in dreams often have to do with personal cleansing and purification, as well as the removal of what doesn't belong or is toxic. Think about that for a second. Make sense? There was some cleansing that needed to be done in the life of this person who was perpetrating a scam. Well, what about Glenn Beck? Why Glenn Beck? Well, because he'd recently separated himself from his colleagues. Simple enough. And as it turned out in real life, the warning dream spoke accurately and precisely into a serious inheritance situation in my life, as my parents had made the wrong sibling the trustee of their estate. I was blessed, though, when my other sibling had a similar and confirming dream. So we joined forces against that evil, and for one thing, we became closer, while the sibling who went rogue forfeited the entire immediate and extended family permanently for the sake of material things. But the dream warned me of treachery in its lowest form via a simple riddle, so I could get ahead of it. If your dreams are bizarre, they're most likely prophetic. If they're encoded, they're most likely prophetic. And if the decoded dream elements can come together to reveal a message, they're most likely prophetic. If you're having bizarre dreams that seem to be the pizza, come with me on this dream journey to see about making sense of them. It all starts with subscribing and clicking the notification bell. So until next time, every blessing, and live beyond your wildest dreams.